it up. It's The Record Machine with your host, Jimmy Hall.
In a crowded room I met you. You told me what to do. How you taught me silly dance moves. An excuse to move much closer next to you. So I moved in close to kiss you. You moved your head and turned away. Then you said, don't be embarrassed. I'm just not ready for this, no, not today. When going home, I'm thinking of you lying next to me. So I text you a silly meme. How it started again after just one kiss. Woo! How we lovers or friends on a night like this. After only just one kiss. How you traveled around the world now. There's not a country you haven't been. How I love to hear stories of all the people, places and things that you've seen. How we listened to your records, then we danced across the room. I held your leg like a tree trunk. You said to me, my love, it's much too soon. We're going home, clothes falling off when the butterflies kicked in. And then I think, well, is this it? How we started again after just one kiss. Woo! Are we lovers or friends on a night like this? Are we talking all night till the sun comes up? You're taking me as I am on a night like this. After only just one kiss. On the night about when I met you, how the laughter vibe was strong. We're scooting round your hometown, with you laughing at my face turns me on. You were playing Biffy Clyro. You put some coffee on the stove. Then we went to get some breakfast. The best of a million ways to start another road.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome singer-songwriter Adam Wedd to the program.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, good, thanks, buddy.
Where in the UK are you?
We are in North London. So you know Wembley Stadium?
Yes, of course.
Yes, I'm really close to there. When I go out for a run, I can see Wembley and think I'm going to play you one day, that kind of thing.
Have you ever gone to shows there?
Yeah, I've been there a few times. I've seen, do you know Muse? I've seen them. I saw, who else did I see? I think I saw a band called Dirty Pretty Things. Foo Fighters. I saw the Foos there, which was great.
Yeah, I know. I remember back in the day, Queen played there, and
yeah,
George Michael was played there.
Yeah, so it got knocked down and then rebuilt. So Queen played the old one, and it's still on the same spot, but it doesn't have the same famous towers that it used to have. It's kind of different, and they built a whole village around it, which is nice. But
how long have you been performing and playing music? Did you start real young?
Yeah, when I was 7, I started. I was a New Year's Eve party that my parents had, and they had quite sort of infamous parties. And at the end of one party, I said to them, "I really want to learn an instrument. I think I want to learn guitar," because I was really into Slash, Guns N' Roses at the age of 7, and Slash used to play with Michael Jackson a lot, and I was really into Michael Jackson at that time, and so I wanted guitar lessons, and instead my parents got me a keytar, which is like, you know, it's like a piano, but you play as a guitar, like a keyboard. So I had piano lessons till I was about 12. And then my piano teacher from church, she taught me like 3 chords, and that was it. I didn't do my homework. I just played guitar and wrote songs.
Wow. Influences growing up. Who inspired you to want to get into music?
All the classics, I guess, like the Beatles and Eric Clapton, Phil Collins, you know, Cliff Richard. My mom listened to Elvis. Like, well, my parents listened to a lot of music, but then you sort of have this coming of age where you kind of listen to a lot of punk and metal, so like the Ramones or pop punk, like Sum 41, Blink-182, Jimmy Eat World. And then as I got to like 17, 18, like Jeff Buckley, Leonard Cohen, Bob Dylan, sort of, you know, I'm still on that journey of discovery now, and I'm just getting into rap music, but I'm a little bit late.
Oh, you like rap music?
Just getting there. I think the studio I worked at for the last few years, we had a lot of rappers in, and getting to meet a lot of them, I didn't know who some of them were. It's kind of made me discover their music and almost develop a taste for what I think is good rap and what's not so good. And so, yeah, it's a bit of a whistle-stop tour there for you.
What's it like working with guys like Ed Sheeran?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, that was a while ago, but we used to play a lot of the same shows, and we know a lot of the same people. And you might have seen that video with him, and he was basically the only person at that time to reply to a text, because my guitarist couldn't make the music video. So it's testament to how hardworking he is. He turned up, and I bought him lunch. This was just as he got signed, so he didn't have any money, and then he basically just mimed in the video, and it worked out really well for me since then. But yeah, he's really nice. I think he's exactly the same today as he was then. He's just hardworking, humble, funny, and he deserves every success he has. Yeah.
I saw in your electronic press kit that you had worked with him, and also working with Alan Chan as well. How's that like? Yeah,
it's good. Alan Chan was kind of a lockdown, the first lockdown. There's a lot of frustrated musicians because we began sort of touring and he did the voice, and it was nice. What's been really nice, I don't know how you found this, but for the last 12 months, the only good thing that's come out of this terrible year for so many people is, as artists, we've kind of developed a bigger network. And we started speaking on, I think he added me on Facebook. I didn't know who he was. I haven't seen The Voice for a couple of years. Mm-hmm. And I was working at a studio at that time, and we began writing through WhatsApp and Facebook, and we'd send ideas across. And I think the first phone call we had, he was like singing down the phone, and I was in front of the piano. And it was just, I thought, oh, this is good chemistry. You know, you just know. When we became really good friends for 6 months before we'd even met in person. And he was actually here yesterday. It was all kind of safe and wore the mask and everything. But we're working on another song, and I think it's been a really interesting part of my journey because he really values my songwriting and I really value his voice. So it's quite nice to sort of, you feel safe with each other in that sense. So because he's got
nice partnership, right?
Yeah, it's great. It's that man is born to be on a stage. You know, I'm actually quite shy, but he's not really shy.
Now your current single, Unscathed, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. So another friend of mine who lives in Pittsburgh, she sent me some lyrics for a situation that she sort of had written about, and she was like, can you write some music to this? So again, the same studio I worked at, we went back and forth on a Google Doc, and wrote some music to that, initially with a female vocal in mind for someone else, because me and Melissa, who I wrote it with, she's fantastic with words. She tells a great narrative, and we were sort of intended to pitch it for some other artists, but then I had a go at singing on the demo, and we thought it kind of sounded quite fun. And again, because of all the rappers that we'd been working with at the studio, I put loads of auto tune on it and sent it to her, and she was like, I'm going to open it in a second. Hopefully you haven't done any of that auto tune crap. And I was like, oh, sorry. And she was like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I was like, no, I'm not offended at all. I'm glad you said that, because it's not really my thing. I was just trying something out. And then went back into the studio with a friend of mine over here, and we did a much more organic sounding track. And I've been learning to produce, and it's been really fun sort of learning the art of production, but then taking it to someone else that can sort of mix it and make it sound even better. So that's kind of the story of that. And there's a studio in Hammersmith behind a big theatre, and we went there in between lockdown and did the vocals for it there, and everything else I did here, which was which was really nice. I think my friend Marek, who I recorded with, he replaced the drum sound with a real drum sound that was recorded in, I think it was like Sound Studios in LA, which I was like, I'm not going to argue with that. That sounds way better.
Oh, that's pretty cool. And I noticed you have a video for that as well, a music video. Now, do you play a part in the creative process of the video, or you just go along with in someone else's direction? Like, does someone give you the idea and then you roll with it, or are you a part of the process in making the video? Because the video is outstanding.
Thanks so much for saying that. It's a real collaborative effort. So I do have quite a strong vision for what we want. So it was my idea to do a lot of running, because I did a video about 7 years ago where I'm cycling, and I thought, let's try running. And my housemate, who's a construction worker, but he's been out of work because it's been locked down. So he's kind of, you know, that saying, people have all the gear but no idea. He's not like that with his filming. He has all the gear. He really does have all the gear, but he has quite a bit of an idea. But we sort of worked together on everything. And then my girlfriend offered to be a driver. So my friend Adrian sat out the back of my girlfriend's car one morning at 5 a.m. And we spent about 2 hours just getting as many shots as we can, getting funny looks from the elderly dog walkers of the neighborhood. And it was cool. A lot of it was, it's been, I guess, the video particularly is like, what do we have to our disposal? Because we don't really have any budget at this point. There's no big studios we can use, so we just have to use where we are, and that was it. So yeah, sorry, I'm kind of rambling a lot today. I'm really sorry.
No, that's ramble away. I mean, that's what the audience likes. They like to hear good stories, you know.
Okay,
that's a pretty good one, though. I mean, literally, a guy that works in construction by trade is driving around shooting your videos for you, and he's doing a phenomenal job at it. That's pretty cool.
He's amazing. I don't think he realizes how good he is. And me and my girlfriend keep saying, you know, you're onto something here. And actually, it's funny you should mention that. Out of that, Alan Chan, and this other guy called Abraham, we've sort of accidentally set up a music video sort of company, and to make budget videos for artists that can't afford them. And it's just in the process at the moment of becoming official. But it's that's another good thing that's come out of lockdown, and it feels a bit surreal, really. But we've already got our first client, so that's going to be interesting.
That's awesome. And when we were talking the other day off the air, you would share another song with me. That's coming out in February. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you firstly for being so great at responding well. Because as an artist at this level, when you send stuff to people, a lot of people will either block you, they'll be like, who are you? Or they might listen to it. But it's, you've been so warm and sort of appreciative and understanding, I guess, of what it's like. Because I went from touring and playing so many shows in 2019 to obviously lockdown and the pandemic. And it's trying to learn to reinvent yourself in order to keep the craft alive. And so this video was, I recorded it at the end of I did a demo of it in 2019, because for 2019 I hadn't played outside the UK. I'd only played all over the UK, and I came out of a bad breakup, and I decided 2019, do you know what, I'm going to make this year count. And I think I played in 7 or 8 countries. The US was one of them, and recorded a demo of that song. And I sent it to someone at the studio I work at, who's he's a really great producer, and his manager really liked it. So they offered to basically reproduce it for me. So I recorded it about a year and a bit ago and kind of been sitting on it ever since. And Adrian, who I live with, has got all this gear and he's got this drone. So we thought, let's just spend 3 or 4 days filming, an hour here, hour there, and just slowly try to make this work. And it's another one, Adrian and I did that. He's really fantastic. If you know any artists that need videos, he's so fantastic.
Now, have you felt more creative that you've been at home? Like, because we were talking about the song, the one Kiss. You said that's about an old flame, a breakup, and it's coming out in February. Do you find you had a lot of time to be creative and reflect on things while you were at home, and maybe have some ideas to write some more material? I
have written a lot. Most of the things I've written in lockdown have actually been collaborations with people like Alan, and there's some friends in Sweden and in Finland, and I've been writing sort of via Zoom and stuff. So I haven't written a lot of stuff for me during lockdown. certainly the last 6 to 8 months. But a lot of the stuff I have been working on for myself has been stuff I'd recorded a year ago and now have the time to look at, because I think I must have written between 500-600 songs in the last 18 months. Wow. And it's kind of going through those and cherry picking the best to sort of take forward. So to answer your question, I have felt creative in lockdown, but in my mind, there's two kind of sides to writing a song. There's the initial inspired moment where you feel like you've had a life experience you want to write about, and then there's the time where you want to craft those ideas and make them even better and record them and produce them. And it's kind of very much been the latter in the last 6 to 8 months, because I haven't felt that inspired, because kind of going to the toilet and the kitchen and then the toilet and the bedroom, it's like there's not so much to write about. So I've kind of been delving into my voice notes and memos, and then that way, or listening to other people's stories and trying to write about them, because I love doing that. Because as a writer, it can be very tiring, kind of being stuck in your own emotions and very narcissistic, just writing about yourself. So I've really enjoyed I guess helping other people tell their story, like Alan, I guess, which I'm rambling again.
Now, will there be a full-length album coming out in 2021?
Probably not this year. There'll be something. I've always, you know how sometimes as people we struggle with commitment, and I really struggle with the idea of committing to an album at this point in my career, because I think I need a bigger audience in order to make it worthwhile. And also I think I'm still getting better and better, and I think Unscathed and One Kiss, those songs of mine, and there's others to come out maybe in the next 2 years, but it's always, I feel like it's quite premature to put an album up for me, because I've written so many songs over the years, but I think the last 6 months I'm just starting to write ones that I'm happy with living for a long time. There's lots of songs I've written before then, I'm like, I don't mind if they don't see the light of day. So I feel like it's an elusive answer for you, but there will be an album. I don't know when. I'm
maybe
scared of commitment.
Could maybe even do an EP, right? 4 songs.
I think an EP will be good. I think the thing I feel is, like, with Spotify culture, people, including myself, we consume so much music. Mm-hmm. If I put an EP or an album out, I want to release it on vinyl and do a really special thing so that it means something extra. I guess that's my answer. Yeah.
Cool. And you shared a video that you said you wrote, produced with Alan Shank. Can you talk about that a little bit, the song and the video?
Yeah, we did a couple. The one that's just came out last week. Basically, we had some really big plans for the video, but it was just about to be locked down, so we kind of had to use what we had. But I had this song a couple of years back, and I was getting itchy feet. So I went into the studio and I played everything on the record, and it got some BBC airplay for the original version of that song, but it wasn't great. My voice wasn't great, and I played it to Alan, and he absolutely loved it. So we kind of rewrote it together, and and Adrian and Abraham and Alan, they went out filming around Camden Town, and they made that just before lockdown in December, the video. And it's just it's a song, I guess, it's about political unrest in whatever way you want to see that. And I'm always very nervous as an artist sort of talking about my political views, but it's definitely about sort of defeating a monster of some kind, or, you know, whatever that might be. Right. But it could be your own demons or something, I guess.
Yeah, of course. What do you got planned for the rest of the year? Any big plans to announce?
Fingers crossed. I would love to tour. I had some shows planned in New York and Boston and Washington before this whole thing happened. So if there's any way that could happen again, that would be great. But if not, then I've got some really exciting songs I'm writing with some friends in Europe, because we're coming out the other side of Brexit now, and it's a bit depressing here for that reason. I'm so lucky that I've got so many friends across Europe, so we're kind of writing together for a project on that front, which is going to be fun. So that's going to take up probably most of this year, and but as soon as I can tour safely, I'll be out there playing shows, whether it's in people's houses, once we can do that, like house shows or theaters. I don't mind. I miss that so much. So hopefully everyone's going to get vaccinated, and whatever needs to happen to get things back on the road.
Besides music, what do you like to do?
In lockdown, I've been gardening. We haven't actually got our own garden here, but the downstairs landlord doesn't use his garden, so he's let us use his garden. But it's on a main road, so people get off the bus and and they just see us in the garden, just gardening.
That's cool.
And so that's been good. I previously worked in youth work, like education, and this is like my third big stab, if you like, at doing music full time, and it was going really well before lockdown, and it's kind of been having to reinvent myself again. I might be going back into teaching in September, just because live music's where I make some money, and if I can't play live, I can't, you don't make much money. Yeah. So
do you have a functioning website that you want to promote? Like people could go and see the latest news and all that?
Yeah, it's not very well updated, but it is there. I need to update it, but you can join the mailing list through it, which is important, I guess. It's adamwedd music.com.
Cool. And they can find you on all the platforms, right? Facebook and Instagram. Are you on Twitter or?
I've just started to get on Twitter again, mainly because of my work with Alan Chan, actually, because a lot of the radio DJs that play like the rock stations and stuff, they're all on Twitter. So I am on Twitter. The only one I'm not on is TikTok. I need to understand it because I feel like I'm a bit of an older soul. So I'm not on that
either.
So funny story. My daughter's 9 years old and she doesn't live with me.
Okay.
But she, in fact, this is actually her cup that I'm drinking coffee out of. It's a little ballerina. But
nice. Cool.
Yeah, it keeps me grounded. Reminds me of my. I'm going to go on a tangent. But she and her mum made up a dance for the Unscathed song, and she filmed me doing it the other day. You know these little TikTok dances. So
right.
I've been sitting on it because I'm a bit nervous about releasing it into the world, but we're going to potentially look at launching the TikTok, but I don't know. It's trying to work out whether it's worthwhile, whether it's just going to be an embarrassment or whether it's going to be a successful embarrassment that's going to promote the music.
Any final thoughts before we go?
I don't have that many thoughts today. I'm quite hungry. I might make a pizza, but I know that's not what you meant. But I just thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. It goes a long way for me. It's nice that you've taken an interest, and I'm excited to see the show, and hopefully one day we'll make it out to Myrtle Beach. It'll be great.
That's awesome, man. Well, Adam, I appreciate you coming on the show. I dig the tune.
Absolutely.
I wish you the best of luck this year, and I hope everything goes as planned.
Thanks, my man. Hopefully we can drink a beer together someday on the beach. That'll be nice.
Sounds good, brother.
Take care, man.
Take care, man.
Bless you, man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Everything about us clashes. I should have known how I fell of the tragic ashes. I'm all alone. Now memories are all I've got, and they're fading fast. You're not the person I was thought. Our love won't last. It's in the past. Our love was cursed, but not at first. You made me feel so loved, and then you left. I went from so in love to such a mess. Now I'm going under. How I'm falling, and I wonder, how is it that I'm in so much pain? Oh, but you're unscathed. Ooh, you're unscathed. You've got a hold I can't release. It feels so strong. While I'm restless, you're at peace. Oh, something's wrong. If I never see your face again, it'll be too soon, and I'll change my tune. Is it too late? Did love turn to hate? You made me feel so